Hello there! I think I can safely say that we are all familiar with the Star Wars Funko Pop figures. I've collected a few hundred of them over the years myself. Now, while most Funko Pops are sold individually, there have been times when 2-packs and even 3-packs have been released. Let's take a look at some of those 2-packs that were exclusives to various stores. I have 8 2-packs of Funko Pops that were exclusives to various stores. Some physical stores, some online stores. And you know what? I plan to do something different in this episode. Since I have recorded most of my Funko Pop collection in the Funko Pop app, I can see what the current value of these figures are, these 2-packs, based on what they've been selling on eBay recently. So I think this is going to be interesting. And as we begin here, I would like to invite you to like this video if you enjoy this type of content, and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notifications bell so that you're notified when new videos come out. I do appreciate it when you subscribe. So what do you say? Let's get started here and see what we have in the mix. The first one is a 2-pack of droids, known as the Fighting Droids. And I am not sure exactly which show this was from anymore. Probably something from the Clone Wars would be my guess. And they are kind of unique looking droids, specifically made for fighting. As you can see, each one has a hand that is capable of cutting through metal at each other. One has chains. One has some sort of hammer press or something. Now, unfortunately with this one, I didn't write the price of what I paid for on there, but I would be willing to guess it was somewhere around $20, $25 when I bought this. Well, the current price on the Fighting Droids, based on the Funko Pop app, which is based on eBay sales, went way down in value. This one is now worth about $11.91. About half of what it was normally when you bought it. Probably less than half of the regular price. So, didn't make anything on that one, but still, it's kind of cool looking droids. So, we'll set that one over here and move on to droids that are a little more well known. Should be doing better, right? Here we have BB-8 and BB-9E. You know, BB-9E was the Imperial droid that kind of got in the way a couple of times during the movie. Well, as far as the droids go, they look pretty good. They're smaller than the Fighting Droids, of course. But they're still good-looking droids. Both of them, that BB unit type look with the rolling ball with the head on it. And this one, you can only get at Best Buy. By the way, this one was available at Target. A Target exclusive. Best Buy exclusive. Now this one, once again, I must have bought a regular price. I don't have a cost on the bottom. I sometimes put the cost on the bottom when I'm done. And so I'm guessing 20, 25 bucks for this, right? Well, this one's doing a little better than this one, but nothing near to what the regular price was. This one's been selling lately for $15.44. So, better than that. The next one I bought strictly because I enjoyed the movie, and I liked the 2 characters, and I thought they did a good job with them. And that would be Han Solo and Chewbacca from the Solo, A Star Wars Story movie. And I just like the way these 2 figures look. You could tell these 2 just came out of the mud pit that they were prisoned in. Or they're still in the mud pit because they still got their legs chained together there. I like the way that Han is just dirty. His hair is just stuck to his head. And Chewbacca really looks pathetic with the eyes practically covering his eyes. Or with the hair practically covering his eyes. Just like a lost puppy. This was a Smuggler's Bounty exclusive. And once again, I don't know the price, but I'm sure it was in that same ballpark as the others, 20, 25 bucks. Well, this one is doing better than this one, but lower than that one. This one has currently been selling on eBay for $14.03. So, probably lost about $10 in value there. Oh well. Such is life. Do you see a reoccurring theme here at all? Now, those are just kind of individual ones. The rest of these, I may have shown these on a video before. I'm not quite sure. But I'm going to show them again because I want to go through the value of them. And these are I'm going to call them the Versus series. They are one character versus another character. Okay? The first one we have here is Darth Maul versus Vizsla. So you know this came from the Clone Wars TV series. And when we look at these figures, pretty decent figures from Funko. It's a good looking figure of Darth Maul, and Vizsla is actually blasting up, trying to get away and get an advantage, and Vizsla is also carrying the Darksaber. This happened to be a GameStop exclusive, which you're going to find a lot of the rest of them are GameStop exclusives. For some reason, GameStop gets a lot of exclusive type Funkos. Must have a pretty good arrangement with Funko, I think. Well, this one, normal price at GameStop, which of course GameStop is usually a few bucks higher, but this one was $29.99. I bought it on sale for $19.99. What is the current value according to eBay? Well, this one is now $10.42. Yep, half of the value of what I originally bought it for. Can you say Beanie Babies? Let's take a look at the next one, see if it's doing any better. Here we have Count Dooku versus Anakin Skywalker. Another GameStop exclusive. And this time we have a lightsaber duel going on, with Count Dooku and his red blade, Anakin Skywalker with his blue blade. And actually, good looking figures again. How much did I pay for this one? Well, once again, the regular price was $30. Picked it up on sale for $22.98. So how is this one doing? Well, this one's $20.62 lately on eBay. So, not too bad. Still kind of the same price as what I paid for it, a little bit down. But better than this side was. The next one we have here is a Barnes & Noble exclusive. Yeah, that's a place you don't think of when you think of exclusives very often. And it's a store I hardly ever go to anymore. But this one happens to be Rey versus Kylo Ren, the Supreme Leader. Once again, both of them set in their lightsaber stances. Kylo Ren with his red blade, and Rey has got her blue blade, ready for battle. So this one, I must have bought on a regular price, because I only have one sticker on the bottom, $27.99. How did this one fare? Not very good. Sold on eBay recently for $21.50. Lost a bit of value there too. Have you noticed? None of these have gained any value. The next one we have here is Darth Maul versus Ahsoka. Of course, this is from the Clone Wars TV series. And when we look at this one, we've got Darth Maul with his double-bladed lightsaber and Ahsoka with her two white lightsabers. Good-looking figures again. I do like that Funko makes them so cute to get. But the real question is, what is the value of this now compared to what I paid for it? And this was regularly $27.99. I picked it up for $21.98. So, Maul versus Ahsoka is now at $22.86. Hey! I almost gained $1 on value with this one. Woohoo! First one out of 7 that I've actually gained a little money on. Well, I've got one left. And this one is just a weird combination. At least these make sense with the verses, right? You've got somebody versing somebody else. That actually happened in the TV series or movies. Well, the next one is a weird duo. Why is that? Because it features Jar Jar Binks versus General Grievous. I don't think those two ever came to each other in a movie. And I don't remember them ever coming together in the Clone Wars. I could be wrong. It's been a long time since I've watched the Clone Wars. Let's take a look at these figures quick. And we can see Jar Jar is ready to hit somebody with his little staff there. But General Grievous, of course, has a couple lightsabers in his hand, ready for action. In other words, if these two ever did face off against each other, Jar Jar would lose big time. Unless Darth Jar Jar would kick in and take care of Grievous. Interesting premise. How much did I pay for these? Well, once again, this was $27.99 regular price. I picked it up for $21.98, so a little bit cheaper. This one happens to be the biggest value out of all of these, and probably because it's a weird pairing. But this one sold recently on eBay, according to the Funko app, for $27.06. The only one that actually really increased in value, per se, from what I paid for it. Now, granted, $27.06 is not $27.99, which is what the regular price was. So still down a bit there, but better than what I paid for it. So yeah, there are the 8 2-packs of Funko Pop figures that I have collected over the years. Kind of fun to be collecting them. Now, granted, I don't collect them as much anymore. My house is just too small. I don't have room for all this stuff anymore. But I am kind of happy with what I have here. Not real happy with the value of them going down, but you know what? I collect them because I like them, because I wanted them. I don't collect them for resale value. If I did that, my collection of Star Wars stuff would be really, really small because there's only a certain percentage of what I have that has actually gone up in value. And someday I'm going to have to show you the biggest pieces of my collection. Maybe with that 300th episode coming up here, I'm going to have to show you one of my pride and joys of the collection. But anyway, back to these. Yeah, like I said, I don't collect them because I'm going to resell them later on and make a lot of money. I knew these were going to go down in value when I bought them. In fact, I'm surprised this one actually was a little bit increased from what I paid for it. Which one of these happens to be your favorite? If I was going to sell them, which one would you want to buy? Would you buy it at the price that I paid for it? Or would you want to go with the hyper low eBay price? Let me know in the comments what you think. And of course, I'd like to invite you to like this video, give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I do appreciate it. And hit that notifications bell so that you're notified when new videos are posted. Well, until next time, may the Force be with you, and keep collecting because you like to be collecting.